Hey besties. So I have the random urge to read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I've been wanting to vlog it whenever I did decide to read it. So let's go ahead and do that. I also have the audiobook on Libby, so I'll probably be listening to it and following along. We're gonna see if it's a hit or a miss. Literally all I know about it is that loosely a Beauty and Beast retelling. That's all I really know, and I think only the first book is that way. So that's all I know. And then I know that we don't like, so that's it. Which I hate when I get spoilers like that. Like, it's not necessarily a spoiler, but I just really like with the Shatter Me series and how much everyone loved Aaron Warner and stuff. I like wish I had not known that so I could like see if I really liked Adam type of thing, you know? So like I wish I didn't know that we're supposed to hate him to see if I would have like really liked him, you know? So like that kind of ruins the experience of that. So welcome to the vlog. It's snowing currently, so I feel like it's the perfect time to start this book. I don't really know why. I don't know why snow and ACOTAR just makes sense to me, but it does in my head. But this is mainly a ACOTAR reading vlog, and it's going to be spoiler free. Also guys, another reason I want to read it is because I finally got my chair in that I put right by the window, and since it's snowing and everything, this is like the perfect little reading nook right now, especially with like the lights and everything. I've been listening for 52 minutes, which I was like, what? I thought it's been like maybe 30 at most. So it's actually going by pretty good, even though I was complaining about the descriptions and stuff. It's not going by terribly slow. I'm on page 58. I just ended at chapter 7. I think I started getting really intrigued like at chapter 4 or 5 whenever kind of the events of like the more Beauty and Beast retelling aspect of it were coming into play. So that's good. That's pretty early on, which is really good, especially considering how thick the book is, and this is like the smallest of the series. So but so far I am kind of into it. I'm really into it, especially the once we met the Beast. So far I'm kind of into it, but I'm also listening to it, so I don't know if I would have like really gotten into it if I was just physically reading it, but like listening to it and following along, I'm enjoying it so far. It's very early on though, so we shall see, but I don't know. I really a book talk girly. Like, do I really like the books that book talk likes? Like, that's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. But it is what it is, you know, like I'm gonna like what I like and you gonna like what you like, and at the end of the day it is ink on dead trees. We ain't solving world hunger, so it is what it is. Views are immaculate right now. I'm in love. Hey guys, so I am almost 150 pages in. I just stopped at chapter 17 and I've been listening and following along the whole time so far. So what do I think so far? I really like Lucian. I don't really know why, I just do. And I'm starting to like Tamlin barely. Chapter like 15, 16, 17, where I'm like, oh, you know what, kind of like you know. And then since the main character's name is Freya, I'm envisioning her as Freya from the originals. Which I don't even remember if that's how they described her as a character. That's why, see, this is why I don't care about descriptions in books. It's because I don't listen to them. Like, I don't care what you said. It doesn't matter to me because I'm gonna have it in my brain however I want it to be. So anyways, I am enjoying it so far. It's not the best thing I've ever read in my life, but I think I like it because it like gives the whole like Beauty and the Beast retelling-esque of it all kind of like gives some nostalgia, but like something new at the same time. And so I like that. Also, since I'm like listening to it and following along, it makes it more enjoyable for me. Usually audiobooks kind of like makes my ratings a little higher compared to like if I was just physically reading them usually. So I think I'm gonna try to like read the next like 50 pages without listening to it also, just to see if I still like enjoy it a lot. But since I'm almost 150 in, that's usually when fantasy books and stuff like tend to get like a lot better. So it's probably not fair to do this now, but I'm still gonna try at least to see if like reading it physically is like worse than listening to it. So we'll see about that. I know a lot of people say that the first one is the worst one out of the series. The world building is pretty good. I don't think she harps on it too much, but I'm listening to it, so I feel more immersed in it because I'm listening to it, right? So if I was reading it physically, I don't know if I would feel the same way, but I feel like the world building isn't harped on too much. I'm wondering when the riddle will come. There's the riddle in the book that like needs to be solved for something. I don't really know what the riddle's for, but I'm like rating on that riddle because I suck at riddles. I am not a riddle girl, but everyone says that this riddle is like very easy to like guess, and if I can't guess it, I'm gonna feel so stupid. But also, I don't do riddles. Like, riddles are not my thing. I don't know anything. So far though, I don't think it's gonna be like a 5-star or anything. Right now I feel like it's more a 3-star, but it's also the beginning. There's like 400 pages in it, so I'm not even halfway yet, but so far it looks like more of a 3-star, but we shall figure this out. Okay, so now I'm gonna do another like maybe 50 pages and just read it physically, see if there's a difference, see if I hate it a little bit more, see if I like it a little bit more, whatever. And yeah, I will update you in a little bit. So I've only read 3 chapters physically, and it's not it, so I'm gonna listen to it again. So yeah, I was starting to get a little bored, and if I didn't have the audiobook as an option, then I would keep reading. But since I started with the audiobook, it's kind of hard to like get out of that. So yeah, and I knew I liked Lucian. I can spot a broken boy a mile away, bro. I knew I liked Lucian for some reason. I really want to know what he does. I really want to know what happens. I think it's a good thing that I don't know what happens that makes us all hate him, because then even though I know I'm supposed to hate him at some point, it'll still be shocking because like I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go back to listening to it, and I'll probably end it at 50% for the day so I can like do other things like live and eat and stuff. Oh my god, not even a chapter later, I think I've met our man. I think Reese, I think that's his name. I don't know. I'm freaking out, and I'm already like 10 times more intrigued by the story than I already was just because of this man whose name I don't know yet, but I have a seeking suspicion of who it is. The man is gone, and I didn't get to know his name. So now I'm bored of the story again. What if that wasn't even who I thought it was? What if it was just a random man that never comes back again? It was the only escape I had. Truth. I wouldn't apologize for Isaac. Why is there biting happening? Is this Ryle 2.0? Mom, come get me. I'm scared. Yeah, I don't... I don't know what happened, but I don't give a crap anymore about what's happening. Like, I'm still gonna read it. Like, it's not like a I hate this, I'm gonna DNF type of thing. But it's just like a, like, can we get on with it? I'm mainly just like, I'm so like just waiting
for the reason behind why everyone hates to like be revealed, like to the point where I'm just like, can we hurry up so I can know why everyone hates him? Like, can we get on with it type of thing? So yeah, that kind of sucks for this for this like reading experience and the blog and stuff, because it's like, how would I feel if I didn't know that, you know? And so that just sucks. I don't know, but I think because of what just happened, where I think I saw Reese, but I'm not too sure if it's him or not since they never gave a name. Ever since that, now I'm just like, hurry up and screw up, man, so I can freaking see Reese. So, and I think the other thing is I'm waiting for this riddle that everyone talks about, and I'm just like, when is this riddle gonna come? You know, so like I'm just waiting on a lot of things that I already knew were a part of the book and a part of the story, that now I'm just like, can we hurry it along and get to that so I can know the context of it, you know? Which isn't necessarily the book's fault, because like I knew these things going into it because of like social media, not because it's like on the synopsis or so. I don't even know what's on the synopsis. I never read the synopsis. Let's look at it. Okay, so I just finished chapter 34. So Freya's out trying to like help the beast or whatever, you know, and so I'm getting a lot more intrigued. Okay, so depending on how this goes, I might up the stars, maybe. I'm getting closer and closer to hearing what the riddle is, so I'm very like, I'm getting like impatient, but like an excited impatient type of thing. Like it's an okay impatient, because I'm like, I want to know what this riddle is, because I want to know if I'm like dumb. But yeah, some thoughts I do have though is, so I didn't mention this yesterday because I was trying to figure out if I was having too high expectations and stuff or not, because I read so much romance now. I used to be a fantasy girly, but like last year 2022 I really got into my like romance era, but before that I was like a fantasy girl, you know, and so this isn't my first rodeo. So I was wondering if I was putting Feyre and Tamlin's like romance, like I was expecting too much since I started reading romance more. But then I realized that like honestly some of the best romances are in fantasy books, you know, like it just hits different in a fantasy book for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. Okay, and so maybe this is too high expectations, I don't know. But it just feels like Feyre and Tamlin's relationship, like it's not hidden like a fantasy romance should, you know? And it could be because of the things that I know that are gonna happen later on, and so maybe my guard's up a little bit. But like so far it's just not like swoon worthy for me, you know what I mean? Like I'm just not, I just don't care that much about their relationship, to be honest. And since it's a Beauty and Beast retelling, it relies heavily on the romance, you know. And it could just be because it's the first book in the series, also. So of course you gotta take that into consideration when it's a series. But so far the relationship just isn't, it's not hitting the way it needs to be hidden, you know? So that's my thoughts so far. I'm really interested in Nesta, Freya's sister. Everybody else in her family, like I don't care. They could literally die and I wouldn't care, you know, but I'm really like intrigued with what they're gonna do with Nesta's story and like her character development. I'm very intrigued by everyone's possible character development within the series. So that's great, because right now, honestly, I feel like nobody has a personality but Lucian and Nesta. I feel like they're the only ones that have an actual personality, which is a thing that happens a lot in fantasy books, especially if it's YA. They'll have the main girl just have like this trauma or like have a crappy family, and they'll just like focus so much on that they don't forget to give the girl a personality. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of what's happening with Freya. I don't care about her necessarily. Like, I feel bad for her because she has such a terrible family, you know? But other than that, like, I don't care about her as an individual, you know? Like, I would want to, I have sympathy for her, but like, I don't necessarily love her, you know? I love her simply because she has a crappy life and that's it. Which I feel like is a very big cop out to like to get your character to like be liked is by just making them have trauma. And I'm like, no, you need to like give them you need to give me more reasons, like their personality, their like will to live, their like whatever, you know, to make me like them. And right now Faye was just like to me, but first book, character development, hopefully it goes great. I don't know. But yeah, so I guess that's my update for now. I'm gonna work out and listen to it.
I finally finished the book, and I did not guess the riddle on the first try. But honestly, well, first of all, I am dumb. But I'm gonna blame it more on the fact that I heard the riddle while I was working out, so I wasn't like paying good enough attention, I'd say. But I sent the riddle to my bestie, Dom. Shout out to Dom, and she guessed it like on the first try, and then she like second guessed herself and was like, I don't know. But yeah, she got it right, and once she told me what she thought it was, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And so yeah, I did not guess it. But even though I didn't guess it, I do agree with people that say that the riddle is kind of like easy, like a little too easy, even though I didn't guess it. But that's because I'm not a riddle girl, and just I'm dumb. The end. But yeah, I think the riddle definitely could have been a little bit more, you know? But final thoughts other than that. I gave this book 3 stars. I think it was a good read, but it was kind of just like, I guess lackluster is the best way to describe it. I think this is a great book to like for anyone that hasn't read fantasy before and is wanting to get into that genre a little bit more. I would definitely recommend it because I feel like it is kind of like a starter for people that like fantasy. But like I've mentioned, I was a fantasy girl until like the first 3 quarters of 2022. I went back into my fantasy era when fall started. But yeah, so I am a fantasy girl in my heart, and so this was kind of lackluster for me. But I also know everyone says that the first one is the worst one out of the series, you know, and it is the first in a series, so there's a lot of like introducing characters and introducing this world, and you know, like it's not the first one. If the first one is the worst one, that's pretty good for a series because you as an author should want the books to just get better and better. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna read the second book. It's snowing again, so it makes me want to just go ahead and get into the second one, which I might do, but I will still vlog it. Look out for that. I like that even though Freya didn't really have a personality, I like that she at least had a hobby, you know? Like she liked to paint, you know. Hunting, she mainly was forced to be good at that, so it's not necessarily like a hobby, it's just a skill she like had to learn to survive, so I wouldn't really count that necessarily. But at least she like has something. You know, like things like, I don't know, Twilight, where like Bella, like I guess she reads or whatever, but I feel like every author just makes their main character like reading because we like to read, you know? And it's like, can you have your main character like something else though? You know, like just because we like to read doesn't mean the main character has to like to read too, you know? So I liked that she liked to paint and she was illiterate. So completely different from what us readers are used to for a main character, I guess. But yeah, I liked that. And recent are like the ones I'm the most interested in for the male characters. So I don't know. Like obviously, I'm more interested in Rhysand than I am in Lucian, but I don't know. Lucian is just that great. like I love you, like side character that every fantasy book has. Like he's the best friend type of character, you know, that everyone just loves. Very cookie cutter type of thing. I'm more interested in Reese, and I'm still waiting to see what does you know who do what do they do to make everyone hate them. Like I'm still waiting. I was hoping it would happen in this book, but I'm assuming it's in the second one. Tell me down below, but don't spoil who I'm talking about, in case people don't know. So yeah, I'm totally waiting on that now. I'll be very impatient until I get to that part for sure, especially since how thick this one is. And then for the female characters, I only care about Nesta, really. Like Freya, I don't know. Something about her as a main character is just off-putting to me. Like I just don't really care for her. Like it's not like I hate her, but I don't like her either. Like she's just so like mid to me. And like Nesta, like obviously I didn't like her in the beginning because they introduced her as like a very rude person. But then towards the middle, when we see Nesta again, she was a lot more intriguing, you know what I mean? And yeah, so like I don't care about even the main character. I care more about Nesta for the like female characters. So hopefully that changes in this book to where I want to know more about Freya and like things like that, especially since how the first one ends. I'll be looking forward to the character development for Freya. There better be some, at least. And I look forward to the downfall of the other character, you know, that we keep tiptoeing around. All in all, to wrap it up, Court of Thorns and Roses, is it worth how popular it is? Because this book is like probably one of the most popular fantasy books and series on all of social media, you know? And I don't, at least from just reading this one, I don't see why. It's very like mediocre. I do see this as a good starter for anyone that wants to get into fantasy but is a little too scared to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. Let me know down below your thoughts on the book, if you've read it before, and if you plan on reading it, like all the tea. Just give me all the tea on ACOTAR. But yeah, like who's your favorite? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Like, give me the tea. I did finish the book in like 3 days, which is pretty good. So it's not bad by any means. It's just, you know? But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Follow me on my social medias. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Meet me on the street lights. Meet me where the lights fade out. Tell me what it feels